The counting grows with an American girl called Sheryl Crow doing a song called American Girls. An inspirational business leader and human being on the phone now.
94.3.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
It's my CEO's Working From Home series, and really a man I have so much respect and admiration for. Dr. Velumani, the Indian scientist and entrepreneur. He's founder, chairman and managing director at Thyrocare Technologies Limited. Dr. Velumani, I hope your friends, your family, your extended family, your colleagues and all the people who work for Thyrocare are safe and healthy during this COVID-19 crisis, sir.
Hrishikesh, there is no cough, there is no flowing nose, there is no fever, perfectly fine, happy, but lockdown has locked us down completely.
Well said. And thank you for soldiering on and doing all the testing despite everything that's happening. I want to start with the PCR test versus the antibodies test, Dr. Velumani. Your thoughts on that? Which do you think is the more viable test, please?
PCR test has been conventionally costly and antibody tests were very cheap. 1/10 of the cost of PCR was antibody cost. But today, because of the pandemic, because of the panic, the kits availability for antibody is very, very little, and all are made only in China, and China is more interested in dollar, euro and pounds revenue, not on INR revenue. So we are not getting adequate antibody kits. PCR kits are available and the country is doing a good size. In fact, 10 days back it was too small number testing per day. Today we have almost 10 times more tests done than what it was done.
Sir, which brings me to my next question about the government making a sweeping statement that all COVID-19 testing should be free of cost. Now, obviously, that was a very difficult one to implement for private labs such as yourself. And how do you view that, considering the raw materials are supposedly very, very expensive for this testing?
Hrishikesh, that was Supreme Court's verdict, a little less clear a verdict, and government was to pay for it, and government was not having sufficient money to pay for the entire country's need. Moreover, government felt rich should not be paid by government, and laboratories certainly cannot do tests free of cost for this costly test. So it was a little bit of chaos for 2 days, and the government went back to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court modified and said whoever can go through using Ayushman, because Ayushman schemes are sponsored and paid by the government, and rich can get it done directly from private laboratory by paying. So today we have in our business 75% of the business supported by the government, and 25% people come and pay using their own money.
The world over, there have been very serious reports of how people who are conducting the testing, whether on ground, on site, in residential societies or in hospitals or in pathology labs like yourself, they are getting infected themselves. So precautions as far as your wonderful staff are concerned, people who are testing for COVID-19, in particular the use of PPEs, how is that going? I pray that nobody has gotten into an unfortunate situation thus far. How are you managing all the shifts?
I think being too confident on handling virus is very unfortunate thing. Many hospitals and doctors felt that this virus can be handled with very little of the protection. I think this virus needs a complete protection, and the protection is very much essential, especially when you work in a live environment. Live means an environment where the virus is very live and you are standing there and staring at it. So it's a challenging one. It needs courage. It needs a lot of bravery. I wish all the listeners understand what is this COVID warriors actually are contributing for the society and for the welfare of everyone. Please don't insult them. Please give them a great appreciation for their bravery in today standing at the toughest time and managing COVID as a pandemic.
Well said, sir. Full respect to our COVID warriors. More with promoter, chairman, managing director and CEO of Thyrocare, Dr. Velumani, on my CEO's Working From Home series. Here are the cause with radio. I'm Hrishi K. Portugal, the man with Feel It Still. He is a man of great expertise, founder CEO of Thyrocare and MD of Nuclear Healthcare Limited, the incredible Dr. Velumani. More conversation.
94.3.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Sir, there was a bit of lack of clarity in terms of whether it is a surface-driven virus or it also gets transmitted through the air. What are your thoughts? You have been emphasizing in all your videos about safe washing of hands and washing down all the stuff that you get, the essentials from the market. But other than that, is it surface? Does it spread through the surfaces or is it now airborne, sir?
Actually, this virus cannot fly in air. It has to have a medium to fly. And medium is nothing but the aerosols which you throw out while you are coughing and sneezing. And when the aerosols come out, the bigger aerosols goes down very fast. The smaller aerosols go down slower. And very small also will go down after some time. So it has no power to be in air until there are very, very minute aerosols that do for a very little time that is not posing the threat. So all what comes out, if a person is in front of you or you are in front of a person who is coughing and sneezing, in 3 feet radius, if you are standing, it will be on your body. So that is why people tell keep safe distance. The second thing is whenever anything is sneezed, it is either on the table or on any of the staircase, any of the handrails, any of the door knobs. So it has been advised, please wash your hands because you will touch it and that you will take it to your face and from the mouth and nose it will get into your body. So there is no fear of air transmission, and if there is an air transmission for this, there is nothing you can do by fearing. You have to surrender. But fortunately, it is only the surface, so it is easy for people, not that easy. It is not relatively very difficult to handle it, as much difficult as it is if it is in air. It is on the surface, it is not on the air.
I want to know your daily work from home timetable. I remember when I hosted you and you were kind enough to come to my studio. This is before the lockdown, much before the lockdown. You did mention to me that you stay on premises in Navi Mumbai at one of your labs. So you are no stranger of working from home, but talk to me about your work from home timetable. Do you set yourself a timetable every day or do you just not calendarize things and go with the flow depending on the nature of work for the day, sir?
Hrishikesh, I don't have a home to go. I also is as stuck as a migrant is because I haven't bought a house. But having said that, for the last 25 years, I have been living in the laboratory. I am living in the 5th floor and the remaining floors are the laboratory. I don't go down to the laboratory because my children have said, Dad, you are old, you don't go down, they will manage it. So I'm sitting in the cockpit and I am driving the business. We today process in a day around 1,000 samples for COVID testing. Never in my wildest dreams of mine, I thought I will be handling COVID, which is a microbiology, and I was a mathematics man, and my business has driven me towards this. And the government of India has entrusted the job of testing for a few laboratories, and I'm happy to say I am one among them. So we are testing for the last 20 days, and we are training people because all need to be well trained, and it's a challenge. But if you ask me what is the routine, it's very difficult to tell the routine. You ask the majority of the people who are obsessed with thought processes and planning and strategies, they will not know which day of the week they are passing through because it is from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. It is all in looking at what can I learn, what can I strategize, how can I guide my people, how can even I guide the rest of the society. I've been very active in Twitter and I wanted people to understand that there is a fear, there is no need to be panicked. Please prevent it. Please don't just get into some kind of sending false communications to the rest of your community that we are coming to the end of the world. This virus is bad, but it will only kill 0.001% or 0.1%. So there is nothing there truly to be panicked about. This virus will go through and through the journey of its own. You just can't fight with it. You have to tame it. And I'm happy that government has brought in lockdown to delay and dilute the pains of the virus. The lockdown will not save you from the virus. You have to get back to your office. You need to follow all safety procedures. And mind you, if you encounter, your body will overcome 99.9% of the time. Have confidence. And this is very important message. Otherwise, all negativity, all minus point, all putting pressure will put a lot of mental health, not only in the adults, also in the children. We need to undo what panicking we have done as soon as lockdown is over.
Explained with so much clarity by you, sir. Dr. Velumani giving us his insights on this COVID-19 crisis. More with the founder of Thyrocare Technologies. But not before I play you some Weekend and Blinding Lights. This is 94.3 Radio 1 One World, your station. And my name is Hrishi K. Keisha and Will I Am. It's Crazy Kids. On my CEO's Working From Home series, the sharp and focused Dr. Velumani. His Thyrocare got listed on the National Stock Exchange in May of 2017 and was oversubscribed 74 times. And I think that's stellar. More with the good doctor.
94.3
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
I also want to pick your brain on the simple living, high thinking philosophy of yours, simply because, despite the expansion of your business, I would call it an empire, but you're a simple man. You will not use extravagant words like that. How you've not managed to still buy a house and you're happy living in the lab. This is an unprecedented time. Lots of private companies are laying off workers. Lots of people are not only losing jobs, but having to take pay cuts. What is your advice? I mean, not so much the medical industry, because you are at the forefront of fighting the Covid-19 virus, but what is your advice to the common man there who is confronted with a pay cut or with a loss of job? There are mouths to feed, some have 2 kids, more. What is your message to them, please?
Hrishikesh, this COVID teaches you all those lessons which no mentor, no father, no principal could teach you. This is a very rude education, but it is a very good education we need to undergo. This is the time, is a testing time for all the leaders, because leader is not the one who is running the running. Leader is the one who is creating and running. And the big leader is the one who creates something after collapse and then running. So it's a tough time, be it $1 billion company running man or even 2-3 crores of company running man. Everybody has challenge. That's number one. Number two, this is the time when everybody should learn how minimum if I spend, I can still be happy. For example, I was provisioning something like, I am a frugal man. I can afford to spend anything. I can afford to buy anything. But I was telling my children, probably I would need for the remaining of my life $1,000 per day. Comparing, I need a driver. Comparing, I need a car, and I need some spending. But let me tell you, for the last 20 days, I have understood I don't need any more $1,000. What is $100 is more than enough for the rest of the life. If a man with me with so much of a closing balance can think like this, I want every common man to understand what unnecessarily things he was buying, he was keeping, he was not using, all need to be reworked, and being frugal is very, very important. Hrishikesh, I will tell you, if you eat for your intestine, it is only $2 per day. If you eat for your tongue, it is $20 per day. And if you eat for your eyes and nose, it is $40 per day plus GST. Please eat for your intestine. That is more than enough. I think happy living is more important. Bank closing balance is not that important. Everybody will learn, and when we come back post-corona era, people will prioritize totally different. Health will be the utmost priority, not bungalows, cars, or vanity bags, vanity shoes. I am very happy that man is given such a slap that respect nature, be frugal, and take care of the environment. I think it's a very powerful education. I feel sad we had to lose lives. I feel sad that many had to get hospitalized. I feel sad today to see the Prime Minister, Chief Minister, MPs, MLAs, IPS, IAS, everyone wearing a mask and talking. To that extent, this had been a very rude attack. But having said that, I think Japan came up only after that Hiroshima and Nagasaki. India will come up very strong, very powerful. I had recently tweeted it would have taken X number of years for India to become number one country in the world. Now it has become half X, because now we will know what is priority and do the right thing. And let me conclude by telling what is easy to do is not right to do, and what is right to do is not easy to do. And this is what the virus lesson to the human.
Wonderful. The philosophy of life of one of the foremost business leaders of our generation, Dr. A Velumani, the main man from Thyrocare. Let's do some wallflowers and heroes. I'm Hrishi K, and this is 94.3 Radio 1 World, your station. The epic sounds of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, that's Go Robot. 35 years of experience in diagnostics research and business make Dr. Velumani the captain of the industry he is today. Other than Thyrocare, he's also MD of Nuclear Healthcare Limited, which is a radiology vertical that focuses on cyclotrons and PET CTs for diagnosing and monitoring in oncology. I'm chatting with him on my CEO's Working From Home series.
94.3
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
Now let's come to some lighter questions. I know you told me that your late wife, the wonderful lady, and yourself, you started off Thyrocare with very, very meager means. Today, you've built this wonderful empire where a lot of people look up to you as a business leader. Who are people that Dr. Velumani has looked up to as a business leader? Could be from India or from abroad. And why you have looked up to these business leaders or captains of the industry, please?
I am today a leader, Hrishikesh, not from middle of the pyramid I have come up. I have come up from the bottom of the pyramid, and I believe the bottom of the pyramid has too much to teach than the top of the pyramid. I have never felt that some big man can teach me lessons. It's always the village which I learned a lot from. It's always poverty from which I learned a lot. And I must tell you, the most motivating people for me are my own employees. Very often, without a single share in their hand, they work as if they own the entire company. When I look at them so committed, I become more committed. I think I have been blessed with sufficiently good brain, and I am of that opinion. Only mistakes, only failures will teach you, and I do a lot of failures, mistakes, learn from them. And if you ask me honestly, not that anyone truly is my true, what you call, a personality whom I want to emulate, but having said that, I want to be as bullish as Elon Musk is, but as humble as Narayana Murthy is, and as crisp as communicating like Jack Ma. I believe these three people I often remember for a few things. Otherwise, my people and my family motivates me, and I enjoy a lot from learning from them.
Are you able to catch up on your reading? Are you a voracious reader? Have you been a reader in the past? Your favorite books which have really impacted you. Can I pick your brain on that, please?
Hrishikesh, I read science and scientific books, not fictions, not motivational books. Whatever I read, one is scientific book, technology books, and what I read, and I must tell every people who are listening this program, the first 20 years of my life, I learned or I read Vina Mani, an equivalent of Sakal in Maharashtra. 20 years, first 20 years, I read it every day. Next 20 years, I read the Times of India every day from first page to last page. And that gave me confidence to start business. For the last 20 years, I have been reading Economic Times from first page to last page. So I believe that newspapers are better thing to read than books. Newspapers don't give a lot of excitement, continuity in the reading, but there are bits and pieces of information in various phases of life written by multiple intellectuals, and I believe that a collective intellectual input is more important than reading one or two books where everybody have their own philosophy. That philosophy worked well in their country, in their geography, and that time probably will not work now. So I'm a practical man. I look at problems and learn from problems, but I read newspapers a lot. Daily morning, 2 hours, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I spend fully on newspaper. Not just one newspaper. Sitting from here, I read Tamil newspaper also.
Excellent. Vital life lessons from Dr. Velumani of Thyrocare fame on my CEO's Working From Home series. Here are the it couple of music: Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello with Senorita. 21 pilots with their big one, Stressed Out. Thyrocare uses a unique business model built by the great Dr. A Velumani in a focused biochemistry back-end laboratory. Here he is telling us about the story of building that business and imparting some great teachings to us on my CEO's Working From Home series.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
A favorite travel destination, a place that you've gone to and just felt really wonderful. Would you tell us about that?
I think I am a nature lover. I don't love concretes and I don't love buildings and infrastructures. I think if at all I am asked which is your most favorite destination, it is Lonavala, which is from Navi Mumbai. It is just an hour. And the beauty of Lonavala is the beauty of any hill station anywhere in the world, except that heights could be little up and down. The second most enjoyable one is Goa beaches, and I love the Goa beaches. So if you ask me what you enjoy, I enjoy beaches, I enjoy meadows, I enjoy valleys, I enjoy peaks of hills, and I enjoy beautiful moon. And I must tell you, the nature has been the most powerful motivator also. I don't have that fantasy that I must go to some kind of exotic place in Mauritius or in Europe or in US. I believe one thing. There was a song in Tamil in those days. NGR had given that song. What you don't have on this earth, you have done, and in this country, you have to beg from anywhere else. So in the Tirunattil. That was the kind of talk it was. I love India. I love in every nature in India. It is very frugal. There is no too big a budget needed. You can enjoy it. I want everyone to value nature much more than they valued it before COVID.
Your favorite memories or learnings from your days in school and college? It could be the village school you attended, or Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya, or the University of Mumbai later. Any memories or learnings, sir?
I think all memories were learnings. I was very poor, and today people ask me a question. You must have struggled a lot. I must tell you here, those who struggle in poverty will never come out of poverty. Those who enjoy poverty only can come out of poverty. And I believe the biggest source of inspiration was my mother, and with nothing in hand, she reared 2 buffaloes, and with 70 rupees of revenue per week, she made sure that all her children were Madras University graduates and Mumbai University postgraduates. The lady known for her focus, clarity, frugality, and very, very ethical way of living. So I have learned a lot from her. So that is one thing I can tell you from my childhood days. And I also wish to acknowledge the motivation of my late wife, Mrs. Sumati Velumani, who was a source of great inspiration to me in terms of she didn't have a world of her own after her marriage. For her, I was the world. So it's very difficult. I can write 1,000 pages book about her contribution in my success and Thyrocare success. But then having said about 2 ladies, I am tempted to tell, if men are successful, families succeed, prosper. If women are successful, society succeeds and prosper. I wish women given adequate priority, adequate attention, adequate motivation to make sure that India becomes the #1 country in just a matter of 10 years. I wish the Indian rural patriarchal society changes their perceptions about the power of women. They are no less than men, and in some aspects they are more powerful than men.
You're right. Woman power can bring us out of many crisis situations. A last leg of conversation with the very eloquent Dr. Velumani, the man behind Thyrocare. And speaking about woman power, here's Avril Lavigne and Girlfriend. Enjoy this on 94.3 Radio 11 World, your station. My name is Hrishi K. Robbie Williams, rock DJ, playing on my CEO's Working From Home series. Home stretch of a remarkable conversation with a remarkable man. Promoter, chairman, managing director, and CEO of Thyrocare, Dr. Velumani.
94.3
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
A music concert that you have attended currently or in the past. It could be a Carnatic concert, it could be Tamil film live stage show, or a Bollywood stage show, or an international music festival. Any concert you have been in the audience in and you have really enjoyed yourself?
I was in one of A Rahman's concert. I couldn't afford costly tickets, so I was very far. I could only imagine how the stage Rahman would look like. But the music is music, whether you can see the singer or not. I think the most powerful motivator on this earth is music. I enjoy Manna Day to today's Arjit Singh songs. I enjoy from those days P.B. Srinivas to today's all new singers in Tamil also. But let me tell you, the most enjoyable time was I was in US, and I took my wife to treatment for cancer. Of course, that didn't work. But in the Central Park in New York, in the day I had to wait for 15 days to get the appointment. Every day, 2-3 hours, I was with MS Subbulakshmi's song on my earphone, and I was walking in that 15 degrees centigrade of Central Park, not less than 10 kilometers each day. I will never forget. That was the most enjoyable music for me. But having said that, let me tell you one punchline of mine. Life is music. Music is life. Rest is all life.
Yes, indeed. If people want to get themselves tested, whether it's COVID-19 or any other tests, and they want to reach Thyrocare, where can they call or where can they get in touch?
No, in that way, we have phone number and everything is displayed. I am unable to tell the number right now. But Thyrocare, once Google, a lot of things will surface. No one need to come to my center for giving blood. I was the first man to create Arogyam as a package, which is a buffet kind of preventive care for lifestyle disorders. It has become very popular. I am known because of the brand name Arogyam. So So this Arogyam is available in 10,000 PIN codes in the country and is also present in 10 countries. And my men, 10,000 of them will come to the door of any patient who calls. We were the first guys to come out of this brick and mortar to field and street. So it is available and anybody can invite us to their place. Just give a call. Our man will be there. Even for COVID, we are going to home by wearing the personal protective equipment. And it's very scary to see a man in front of you with such a kind of boot kind of a presentation. But that also we are doing. Out of the 5,000 samples we have processed, around 2,000 have been collected from home, from the housing society. So it is available. It's all over the country and anybody can Google and get the numbers.
Do a search on Thyrocare. Thank you, Dr. Velumani, founder, chairman, managing director of Thyrocare. Thank you to your entire team and you for being COVID warriors. And like you say, we should all be COVID warriors. Thank you for being on my CEOs working from home, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Hrishikesh. Bye.
It's Lady Gaga and Alejandro, only on 94.3 Radio 1 One World, your station. I'm Hrishi K.